Ready to roll?
The White Noise Boys, the White Noise Boys, the White Noise Boys, White Noise Boys, White Noise Boys, the White Noise Boys.
Yeah. Give us all your money on your way out.
Oh my god, child, that is so annoying.
3, 2, 1.
Tell us what the White Noise Boys means to you today in your life.
Well, I mean, I guess it applies to quite a few things currently for me.
Alright, hey, how's it going, everybody? This is the White Noise Boys for January 1st, 2016. Came to cast our pod in your face. I'm your host, Chris Taylor, and with me is... who the fuck was that?
Sorry, that's Aleksandar.
Mm-hmm. Oh my god.
And, I'm psyched for episode number 4. Alright, let's go.
Oh, dude. 4 too many of these. And who else is here?
And Ethan, and for those of you who may be confused right now, this is for June 1st, not January 1st, 2016.
Well, you know, we did a test episode. You know, whatever. You want to be in charge? Who wants to be in charge?
I don't want to be in charge. I just think that that's kind of a hilarious missay.
Well, you know, when you do nothing, when you haven't left your house in 5 months. You know what? I'm gonna blow your spot since you blew my spot, and it's actually Sunday, May 29th. Like, surprise, we don't record this and then just put it out, even though it probably sounds like it. So who's been doing something interesting this week? Aleksandar, in our pre-show, you mentioned this terrifying video you watched.
Yes, oh my god. No, I'm trying to make it in the world of the internet, right? The big thing to that is apparently the most active, I don't want to visit, but most fucking Twitter bot. And I was scrolling through my Twitter.
Now you'll never get that 250.
Surrounding this one in Hearthstone. And now I don't know, for those of you who have not grown up or seen a farm, essentially it was a bunch of roosters yanked in chickens, and it was the most terrifying, life-changing experience.
You grew up pretty sheltered, didn't you? Oh, you never saw a rooster genocide another rooster's offspring? So I grew up partially on a farm and partially at my grandfather's farm, and then with my family in Philly so I went back and forth, right? And their rooster died, and they got a new rooster, and this rooster comes through and just like stomps all over all of the eggs from the other rooster. It was pretty good.
I forget actually his name. Wake up, George. You didn't become alpha, everyone died.
Well, this just in. Nature's savage. So, speaking of nature and or metal, what have you been up to, Ethan?
Well,
Segue.
Yeah, segues. Well, work, shitty as per the usual, and then.
What does your work have to do with nature?
Because every day the Air Force is systematically destroying the environment with its fleet of aircraft.
I was just trying to point out how, according to our planning document, I gave you a pretty good segue, and then you ruined it by talking about the Air Force instead of a chicken coop, which is what I really wanted you to follow up with.
Speaking of chicken coops.
Speaking of chickens, I heard you build a chicken coop.
Yes. Well, yeah, I did build a chicken coop, and it's not too awfully bad. It's the first real thing that I've built and completed with any substance to it. And then my wife went and painted it purple and painted the roof green. But wait, the best part is that she's going to call it the eggplant.
I already had time to be disappointed about this joke because you told me about it like last week.
I know.
And I was just still disappointed. Didn't get any better.
It doesn't get any better, but the best part about it is that it's never going to get any better.
That was the Budweiser of jokes rather than the fine wine of jokes. Does not get better with age.
Yeah, interesting thing is I live in a city, although it is not a large city.
Don't lie, no one lives in New Jersey.
I don't live in New Jersey.
You live in a gang hideout, you don't live in a city. There are probably gangs in New Jersey.
I don't live in New Jersey.
Probably. Where do you live?
I live in Delaware.
Oh. Okay.
So think of Delaware as being...
Oh, okay. Yeah. You live in... No, I know what Delaware is. Delaware's like the land of the shell companies.
I mean, that's pretty true.
No, it's 100% true. Delaware requires no proof of identification to start a company there. So, when you want to funnel money through but Delaware does have fairly high taxes, so what you do is you start your shell company in Delaware, no ID, then you use that company to start another company in a tax haven, like the Caymans or whatever, and you funnel money through your Delaware corporation to the other one, and you have ID-free, tax-free money.
Yep.
Alright, so to funnel your money, what thing do you need to funnel money? You need money. There's the rub. Show that soccer mom who's boss!
But,
anything else exciting, Ethan?
Well, I was going to say, despite it being within the city limits where my house is, they actually allow us to have up to 25 chickens. Mind you, we're not going to have 25 chickens. We're only going to have like 6 or 8. But... Not to any extent that's going to be like saving us like assloads of money, but My wife and I like to at least try and eat healthy, so we've got a garden started. We're getting some chickens.
Dude, you know how much I spend on fucking eggs? $7. They're the best chicken egg.
I spend like $5 for like 5 dozen eggs at Costco.
Fuck, I was doing that, but I can't.
He doesn't feel right about not paying out the ass for his produce and assorted products.
No, he's right though. Like, if you want a real good egg, that's what you do.
Oh, I mean, in Seattle, like, straight up, cost like, you know, it's like $200 land egg. I do that. I want to talk about why I asked me. I do a working family with my friends that have their apartments being converted all the companies chickens.
Oh my god.
Yeah, it's very, very, very bad to keep your chickens inside. It's really not healthy for the chickens, but it's also, like you said, you can get infestation issues and all sorts of other nasty things. But part of that was probably because they didn't clean up after their chickens. You know who you are.
One of our like 4 listeners.
Hey, you never know who might be listening.
It's not me, I'll tell you that. I was part of the. I listened to 3 seconds of one, and you know what? I'll tell you right now, I don't feel the need to listen to this podcast because I took part in making it, so I already am preemptively disappointed. I don't have to listen to be disappointed. I already know.
Such a bright and sunny outlook on life there, Chris.
Well, you know, my bright and sunny outlook has been ruined this week. My wife has been wanting to get our baby a new toy, and I don't see the point in that. Because well, I'm gonna tell you what this toy is. Well, no, it's been ruining my life because what my wife bought my baby is a xylophone. So it's just been like this Kubrickian nightmare in my house for a week. Because all my baby does is run around and bang it, and I hate it a lot. No. I mean, there's always a convenience store she can work at. There will always be convenience stores. Even self-driving cars need gas. Nope. Uh-huh.
Really sad. Like that,
Oh man, the captain in Wall-E is my power animal for the part where he spends a good 20 seconds inclining his chair to reach the cup instead of leaning forward. Every time we watch Wall-E, I'm a little jealous actually. Cause like I gotta bend over to pick up my cup. That's some plebe shit. That guy's got it made. I mean, we're already there. So I got nothing to lose.
You know what? Completely off topic, but Chris,
Well, we
you
haven't
are
started a
really
topic
starting
yet,
to
so.
look like a dad.
What's that?
That picture that you sent me the other day, I swear,
Oh,
I was just like, man.
Yeah, that was my interview. Get up, you like that? A couple. Oh, the haven't gotten a haircut since November look. I had like the Edgar Allan Poe going on, basically. Ah, well, you know, someone's letting me down on the other end for the local joint, so. Not to mention, I had to look nice for a client meeting. That was a shit show, by the way.
Yeah, actually, I do want to talk a little bit about that. Can you tell our audience more?
So, Ethan, let me ask you a question. Imagine that you had some sort of valuable real world skill, like making a website, right? So start there. Imagine. Well, I mean,
Wait, before you continue, let me ask the all important question. Did they ask if they could pay you in exposure?
no.
Oh man.
I mean,
right there, I would have
so-
turned him down and be like, no man, I
All
only
you-
work for
I mean-
exposure.
so I gotta tell you, all you artists, you guys are fucking idiots, right? You gotta talk to your landlord. You gotta go to the checkout line, you know, the one that's always got the really long line at the grocery store that people keep getting in and you can't figure out why because there's the self-checkout right there with nobody at it. You know the line I'm talking about, right? That line and your landlord is legally obligated. If you go to that line or you ask your landlord, you can buy groceries and pay your rent with exposure. All you people working for money, you're fucking idiots. Take the exposure. You can buy groceries with it. Yeah, I mean, you've been working for money your whole life. You're doing it wrong. All you gotta do is not work for money, and bam, all your problems are solved.
See, this is how we can fix the U.S. economy right here. We have to go completely socialist and work entirely off of an exposure-based economy. I mean,
I was trying real hard, and I got as far as, "Will you see Ivan?" and then I didn't have a joke. Well, you see, Ivan, in Soviet Russia, conversation segues you. So, let's talk about what we've been playing. Who's got something to talk about? Who's been playing what? Ethan, you go last. Well, no, Ethan goes last because he's got a thing. Oh, wait. Yeah, Ethan goes last. Because you get halfway through that game as the primary character Nero, and then you start playing as Dante, and you immediately go backwards through all the areas you just went through. And on top of that, normal mode is boring as fuck. It's super easy. But hard mode is a linear difficulty continuation from the end of normal, and I just don't want to play that anymore. There's just a lot of stuff with the controls that I would have been fine with had I just the last Devil May Cry game I played be Devil May Cry 3, but coming from the reboot that came out after, those small changes they made that game a way better playing game, and I just can't go back. I can't handle it anymore. So I stopped playing DMC4. Started playing Odin Sphere. Odin Sphere is a real good game, by the way. So you're excited for it because you're a weeaboo. Odin Sphere is a game for weeaboos, right? Well, you know, don't worry about it. You just own it. You can Google it and own the fact that you are a weeaboo. You're the worst kind of weeaboo too, though. Don't you still watch Naruto? Oh, yeah. Okay, yeah. No, we shouldn't. I mean, if pe. Oh God, are you kidding me? Here's my feelings on having a conversation about Naruto. People are already having the misfortune of listening to us talk to each other. They don't need to listen to us talk to each other about something that's also terrible. Yeah. Be like Ethan's got pretty shit taste in anime too, so don't feel bad. Uh-huh. What was that thing you recommended me that you told me eventually got good and then it sucked the whole fucking time? It had a plus in the name. Blood Plus? Is that a show? Yeah. No. Yeah, you did. I remember. I watched it, and that's when I decided that I would ask you what you thought about a thing and then take the opposite of what you said. So if you said a thing was bad, I would check it out. It, it was awful. So here's the thing: all I have to do is not just be is just not be an idiot, because that thing you just said, you know who that would work on, is an idiot. But anyway, Odin Sphere, about how it's a game for weeaboos. It's made by Vanillaware. They made Muramasa the Demon Blade, Dragon's Crown. They're like, and then it's got the 1-2 weeaboo punch, because not only is it developed by Vanillaware, but it's published by Atlas.
That is
So you know what
pretty weeb company.
The only way it could be more weeb is if it was developed by Xseed and not Vanillaware. But it's like it's a belt scroller. So imagine a side scroller game, but there's only like 50 feet of level, and it's wrapped around a tube, sort of like Burger Time 2 if you ever played that. So like you go forward 50 feet and you're back where you started because you're going around in a circle. And it's like a 2D. It's kind of like a brawler hack and slash type deal, except there's you can like block. Characters have double jumps, down attacks, low attacks. There's like 5 characters who all play differently. But this game is crazy as fuck because it's actually a really good RPG on top of that, right? So like I kill a dude and they release souls, right? And you can absorb these souls into your weapon and fill up your mana bar, and eventually you level up your attack, right? Or you can plant a seed, and the seed absorbs souls. And when it absorbs enough souls, it grows into a tree, and this tree grows 2 sheep. And when you kill these sheep, they drop little bits of lamb roast, and when you eat it, your hit points level up. There's like a million. There's a ton of alchemy. You level up your hit points. There's like cooking, and the story is really good. It's like it's presented kind of like this dramatic play, except it's also like Norse mythology as fuck. Uh, it's got loose associations with Wagner's The Ring, which is like really good opera. If you've never seen it, I recommend it, even though you have to like see it over a couple of days because it's like 30 hours long. Which is The Ring. No, that's just a random horror movie. But this game is like 40 hours long to like minimum to beat it, and like completionism probably somewhere like 80. Uh, it's like you play through. It's got like a 5 act structure. You play through it, takes about 10 hours to finish up, and then you get a new character, and there are like 5 characters who all play very differently. It's a really good game. There's a lot going on. There's like, for example, your money. You get like 115 currency, right? But it's in like 7 different coins, and certain places only take certain coins, but generic shops can take them all. So you've got like, depending on what you want to buy, your currency pool is actually only a third of what it says because you have these particular types of money that you want to hold for this one particular use. It's really weird. There's a lot going on. I recommend it. But it is like the most. It is the most niche game. I recommend it. I think it's pretty good, but it's weird. It's weird as shit. It's very. It's very hard. Very hard. No, you'd have to get it. I think they're remaking it. I found out the other day when trying to Google something about it. I think that comes out in like June for the PS3, PS4. It's got like some bullshit subtitle. What is it? Let's Google it because people Googling stuff that makes for really good radio, right? So it's Odin Sphere Leifthrassir. What the fuck, dude? It's Leifthrassir. That's not a real word. Come on. But yeah, you can play it on PS2 or you can emulate it. I'm emulating with my disc in the PC because I have that disc still. If you play it on the PS2, it has slowdown because it looks really good and there's a lot going on, so it has some slowdown at points on the original PS2. But if you have a backwards compatible PS3, which is how I played it the first time, it will address the extra RAM in your system. So if you emulate it or play it on a backwards compatible PS3, you won't get that slowdown. It's really great. Uh, what else did I play? We all played some. All played some Diablo 2. I already uninstalled it. Yep. I'm I'm never gonna play another game like that. Right. Uh-huh. Well, here's the dark secret, is that it's secretly never fun. Because all you're... So, like, I'm going to be reductive, right? And when you be reductive, you could say this about every video game, and it would be true, but all you do in Diablo 2 is click on stuff. I guess the point with the thing with Diablo 2 is that normally you have to boil a game down really far until you reduce it to clicking on stuff, right? Like the distance between XCOM and clicking on stuff compared to the distance between Diablo 2 and clicking on stuff, XCOM is way farther away from just clicking on stuff. Because Diablo 2, you make a meaningful decision once every 20, 25 minutes whenever you level up, and in between then, you're just clicking on stuff. Well, but you're not even clicking on stuff. That was the dark. It's not. It was really interesting because Diablo 2 is basically like a slot machine for like metal nerds, right? Because that's really what it is. Instead of the flashing lights and the da 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 as you play a slot machine or whatever they sound like, you get sick fireballs and lightning, and you're killing zombies and shit. But that's really what it is. You're playing it. And that's fine. I guess it's just that I already played so much Diablo 2, then Torchlight, which is way better in terms of at least they let you keep clicking on stuff. You don't have to go back to town for potions and town portals and to sell garbage because you can have a pet do that. But then Diablo 3, which was a shit one. Then Torchlight 2, and then eventually they fixed Diablo 3, and I'm like, I just don't want to play a game where all I do is... Yeah, Diablo 3 is okay now, but it's the same thing. Diablo 3 is more engaging, I'll give you that. There's a lot you can do with skills and stuff, right? And it's more interesting, but you're still just clicking on stuff. Oh, see, that seems legit because you have like the active role. So, Ethan, how is going back to Diablo 2 for you? Do you feel the same way that we do? I thought about it, but even with new skills, you're clicking on stuff. It's like a complete conversion, minus the part where you have the same setting and enemies. You have like new character classes, new skills. Audrey, please stop. Uh, so it's like a new experience, but it's still a new experience within the framework of Diablo 2. So it's a way to click on new stuff.
Or just a few different things happen when you click.
Yeah. So that, I mean, I played it. It won't address your problem. Hardcore was fun until I inevitably died.
And it wasn't
That was
even my
interesting.
fault this time.
Yeah, you know what? I do have to say I was wrong. It wasn't your fault this time. I totally expected it to be your fault like it usually is.
You know, I
But
wanted it to be my fault. I wanted you to be like, God damn it, I'm done.
it was totally my fault. I was playing a druid, and you have a large radius multi-hit AoE, and I was in a horde of dung beetles, which all in Act 2, which all emit lightning when you hit them, and I hit the wrong skill button, used my AoE, and like a million pieces of lightning everywhere. It was just instant. And that was the game. But that was at least interesting because it added tension, right? Because like in Diablo 2, you could just click on stuff forever because there's like no consequence to dying, basically. But in hardcore mode, you're like engaged. You're thinking really carefully about every encounter and how to go about it, and that was fun. But then you die and like all your time is gone, and that's just as bad. It wastes your time in a different way. But at least the time that was wasted doesn't feel wasted until the very end. Mm-hmm. Ah, sorry, that was really loud. What have you been playing, Alexander? Uh, take it a step back. You played some last week. You did not have a wireless controller, and you found out that games that control like Souls and Monster Hunter are dog shit without a controller. Hey, we gotta take a break real quick. Fix your voice activation threshold because you are cutting out a lot. Yeah. You're probably fine on your end because the recording software is just picking up everything through the mic. I think it's specifically TeamSpeak. Settings, options, play, capture. And then just move the voice activation detection to the left a little bit. Yeah, I can hear you fine now. Continue. 2012, Capcom. I don't I don't think everyone is your cousin. I think one person is your cousin. I mean, I have at least 8 cousins. I don't I don't get it. I don't get that. Zinspawn, explain to me that joke I didn't get. Oh. You know what? I just watched Deliverance like a month ago, and I don't remember what Dueling Banjo sounds like. That is not the part of that movie that you remember. Spoilers. Spoilers! Spoilers for this almost 50-year-old movie. That's not the part I remember either. I mean, that happened. I remember that happened, but that's not the movie. No, it's not. Yeah, that's just the thing that happens. Yeah, it's just the thing that happens in that movie.
Alright everyone, because I lost my footage, we're just gonna listen to Chris talk about Dragon's Dogma. It's gonna be sweet.
So, tell us about Dragon's Dogma Dark Arisen. So you start in this fishing village, you think everyone is your cousin, but continue. I mean, that game took me like 40 hours to beat. You did not get very far. Oh wait, you made it to the capital, not just the camp? Okay, so you get to the camp and what happens? Because this is the part where like the game really reveals itself to you about what it does. I mean, dude, it's in the first 15 minutes of the game. You could tell us what happens. Because the magic of video games. He's an NPC party member. I mean, it's a Hydra. You probably should have mentioned that part. Oh. Oh. Yeah. I mean, I just gotta say, there's not. I mean, who gives a shit about the definition of a Hydra because it's Greek mythology, so therefore any definition of a Hydra is based on a thing that's made up. So Hydra can be whatever the fuck you want it to be. I don't remember anything about that plot because it's really boring as fuck and I started skipping it for a while, except for the very end part, which I already told you, which is fucking incredible. Well, that's not even how it ends, because that's like, you have to do like 20 hours of post game. That's like. Oh, pff, yeah. Wait until like, have you seen a Cyclops yet? Okay, yeah, you'll like run into like a bunch of Cyclopses. So here's, I want to tell you, I'm gonna bum you out. So you know how long it took to get to the capital? Yeah. There's no fast travel in that game, really. If you want to fast travel, it's like 1,000 gold per thing, and it's one way. So you're gonna spend a you're gonna spend a long time walking. I mean, it's kind of interesting, right? It's like kind of shitty because you just want to go do the thing, but it brings to it because I'm like I'm gonna be away for a while. I need to load up and like prepare and gear up for like an excursion, right? Yeah, if you set your brightness right, like nighttime is some serious business. Uh huh. Uh huh. Oh, is that when you're taking the cart up the canyon? Is this the Dark Fortress? Like in the bottom? Yeah. Okay. Every time you have to go there, it's a fucking bummer because it is a that is the farthest longest walk to and from. Also, there is some sick nasty shit in the woods down there, by the way. It's by the waterfall, right? Yeah, you go there in a quest. You got there. You found it early. Sorry. It's very funny. Can't you just reload? Oh, fuck, dude. Yeah, it's an RPG, not Call of Duty. If you fail a thing, you fail it permanently. Unless your character dies, then it's a reload. No good. I mean, we can just talk about how Fable's not really a good game, but yeah, it does not hold up. Up. Nope. Nope. The brine is an in-world monster that is a justification for you not being able to swim because they didn't program in a swimming animation. I like it. It's a cool diegetic thing, right? It's a bunch of tentacles, right? It's awesome. If I wanted to be a snob fuck, I'd say the word for how they fictionalize the fact that you can't go in the water. It's a really cool diegetic explanation. Diegetic is the word for an in-world fictional explanation. No, I've known that for a while. Jetic. Yeah, the reason there's nothing like it is because people in America don't generally play Monster Hunter, and this game was Capcom trying to get Westerners to like Monster Hunter. So Monster Hunter is just this game, but all of your pawns are other people, and then it's really interesting. For example, like you'll want to stick with a piece of gear for a while, like a set of gear for a while, and focus on upgrading it because new gear is so expensive. That might be the Dark Arisen content. It's Oh man, I really want you to finish this game, by the way. So here's the thing. The game itself probably like 25 to 40 hours. Then after that is you just keep playing in a new game plus, but the world totally changes in this really cool way that I want you to see. Then there's like a post-game dungeon, and then after that you get the ending I told you about. Then somewhere in the game is the Dark Arisen stuff that I haven't played yet. Oh, you got fucking wrecked. So it's really interesting. It's not like, say, Dark Souls. Ethan, you'll know what I'm talking about, right? Like, there are some places at the beginning of Dark Souls you can go if you just want to get fucking wrecked. You can go get murdered by some ghosts and shit, or you can go get murdered by a bunch of skeletons, or you can go the right way. So the way it is in Dragon's Dogma is that different leveled enemies are sprinkled throughout the world. So it'd be like finding one of the big knights from Anor Londo is just randomly in the Undead Burg. Except it's like a wide open world like Skyrim. So it's kind of whatever. You just gotta. It's not a typical fantasy game where if you see the. So, for example, on the way to the Dark Fortress, there's a dragon in the forest. You take the long way around, brother. No, I mean, he'll fucking wreck you, and. Can you manually save in that game? Yeah, you can. But it doesn't autosave until you, like, hit a load screen, so you could just be out 40 minutes if that happens, given how far away the Dark Fortress is. Are you going there on a quest, by the way? Well, you're not going there anymore now, I take it. I think she dies. Like, that quest is over. I don't think she did anything, really. Past that. Excuse me? Thank you. A ball, that's right. My baby's all hype about this ball. Spoilers, I had to say excuse me really loud and tell my baby to move because I'm playing a video game right now. It's good. Uh-huh. Whatever keeps you from calling the child services. I mean, I don't know how she fell down some stairs. That's all I'm saying. No. Kind of, actually. The other day. She made it down 3 stairs of her front porch stairs before I caught her before she hit the concrete on the ground. Oh, no. Yeah, It was from the top. She made it down 3 and then I grabbed her. And then she learned why I insist she hold my hand up and down
dude,
the stairs.
you're pretty...
And you know what? I'm okay with that. I'm not gonna hold, I'm saying, like, you get what you deserve. Yeah.
No, that's, honestly...
No. Oh!
No, it's supposed to happen that way.
You mean like my
Like,
wife?
literally this whole... Oh, man, this is not a
My wife
topic
doesn't
for us,
listen to this
and I'll
podcast.
probably
That's why
cut
she
it.
doesn't know what it's called.
But, like, the
Good
whole
enough for me.
helicopter parenting
But
shit...
yeah,
gets on my
it's
fucking
like,
nerves. Like,
I believe my kid needs to get fucked up at some point, because that's how you learn how to not get fucked up worse later. Like, I ain't gonna, like, be one of those dudes where, you're all hold their hand on the stove and they learn to fear heat or whatever. But you're
dude,
gonna
it's
get...
the only way to learn.
I'm gonna try to not let you not get fucked up, but when you do get fucked up, You deserved it, probably.
Dude,
That's okay. My baby learned not to play with the stove the other day. We got a new stove. When she opened the stove, and the stove door just like creamed her and
all I'm gonna
floored her.
say
It's
is
pretty
this: my mom would always tell us, you
Yeah.
know, watch yourself
It's because
around
it's
an
because I fed
iron,
her chicken
you know, when
nuggets,
she
and
was
then she
ironing the shit.
decided that
Watch yourself around the
stove is where
stove.
chicken nuggets
How did
come
I
from.
learn? When I put my
Not
fucking
not even
hand on
chicken,
that iron when I
fancy
was like,
dinosaur nuggets.
3 or 4 or whatever, or on the stove.
Dino bites. They're pretty good. They ain't bad.
I mean, that's better than getting burnt. I'm telling you.
Nah, she just had them plain. So, I can't give my baby. I would love to give my baby something fun, like some sort of dipping
dude,
sauce
you got
or whatever.
Her dino bites?
But my baby likes
I
the act
love
of
me some
dipping,
dino
but
bites. Holy
also
shit.
does not like to eat food she has not tried, so she
Dude,
won't
yeah,
eat it
with
once
some,
it's
with
dipped.
some,
So, like, my wife and I were eating,
honey
they have
Dijon
these
and stuff.
sweet potato rice crackers, and
that's
we
the
were eating
classiest
those. They're really good. We were dipping them in some hummus, and my baby decided that she wanted to partake in the dipping, and then she just continually tried to force feed us stuff that she dipped, and she never wanted to try one after it's dipped, despite liking hummus and then like also liking these crackers. You basically have to force feed her anything new. It's
Mm-hmm.
it's kind of shitty, but yeah. So stick with Dragon's Dogma. Upgrade your gear. There are some quests worth doing, some quests not worth doing. You should just generally take every quest you can and then try to do them all in an outing. Because otherwise you will spend forever. Like, God forbid you only take one quest at the Dark Fort
Wow.
when there are
I mean,
multiple.
that's kind of good, in a way.
So, by the way, this game, the way it plays, a lot like Dark Souls, minus the climbing. Dark Souls is more technical in the combat. It's less acrobatic, more technical. So there's a focus on not only can you block dudes, you can, like, if you time it right, you deflect their swing and then impale them through the chest.
I'm pretty good at that when it comes to
There's
these kind of
backstabs
games
and
where
stuff
I
like
just
that.
take
So
all the
Dark Souls
available
is more like a
quests and then
fighting
see
game, where
whatever
this is
goes
more
down.
like a 2D side-scrolling brawler in terms of, like, acrobatics.
Because, yeah, I'm kind of a
But-
professional RPG game player.
You should try it.
Not necessarily good at it, you know. I take my sweet ass
I mean,
time and
it's
die
it's
upon
slow.
it, but-
It's slow as shit, so you'll be fine. It's not like Street Fighter 2 where it's 60 frames per second, frame perfect. All right, so that's enough for Dragon's Dogma. Good luck with Mercedes. What have you been playing since, Mom?
Okay.
I've been getting
Are you still here?
Not having played Dark Souls, I think I know what
I don't
you're
believe
talking
you,
about.
but tell me about it anyway.
Well,
Wait, I believe you because you said getting, meaning that you are still in the process. I mean, you could be the worst and be in the process and getting good. So that jibes with how I see the universe. Please continue.
Oh, okay.
I'm
Okay, yeah.
I'm sorry.
So I might not be a fan.
Anyway.
Of, Dark Souls.
I'm sorry, not sorry.
Oh, I will. I mean, the first.
No,
one
so I've had a fair amount of downtime at work recently, and I've been able to pull out Hearthstone and play it here and there on my
right
phone.
on.
And with the way that my laddering deck works, it's
But
actually...
hey, real quick, you know, Ethan has time to play Hearthstone, but we definitely don't overspend on the military. I mean, come on.
It's a particular nuance of the job that I'm doing right now.
Oh, is that... So, when I was asking you if you nap in the airplane, what you really do is you just curl up in the tail of an airplane and hide for as long as possible playing Hearthstone ranked games.
You're fucking horrible, dude.
No, actually, right now I'm working in the tool crib, so I like check out tools to people. But when I don't have people to check out tools to, it's pretty much downtime.
Oh, so you're like the least exciting quartermaster. Instead of
Yeah,
like,
pretty much,
yo,
for
give me,
right
yo,
now.
give me this AK. Yo, you got like a fucking 6mm Allen wrench. Is that a thing? I don't. You can tell I don't know anything about tools.
It might be a thing. I don't know. We just have
Okay.
like packs
I
of
don't-
Allen wrenches.
Oh, an Allen wrench is a thing. Okay, I'm
Oh, you're
one
fucking
plus
horrible,
one
Chris.
more tool knowledge than I thought I had. This just in, an Allen wrench is a real thing.
Yeah.
So, back
Back
to the ladder,
to
I'm
yeah,
sorry.
back to Hearthstone. So I've been playing the Brawl mostly because I ended up with that one Brawl quest on a Brawl that I could easily just
the worst like time to gold ratio.
considering that it's just 5 wins, it wasn't too awfully bad, and I was able to stack that up with 5 mage wins.
Oh man, there's some overpowered shit you can do with mage. So what's this brawl like, Senspawn? Tell us about it.
Well, the Brawl that will most definitely be over by the time this comes out is you start with an extra 10 armor, and the turn that you summon any of your monsters, they get stealth, which means they
Minions.
cannot be hit with spells. They cannot be hit with direct damage spells, and they cannot be directly attacked by your opponent.
Uh-huh. Also, that means taunt doesn't work.
Yes, does also mean taunt doesn't work. Now, one really nice caveat to that is that Twin Emperors, only the first of the two
only
gets
minions
the
you play
stealth,
get.
which means you still get
Nice.
the taunt.
So you're playing Cthulhu. You didn't think about it hard enough.
Dude,
You're just playing that. You're playing that list I made you.
I'm playing what at least I think I'm playing the list that you made me. I didn't really cross-reference. I was like, I remember this being in there, or I remember that being in there. But anyway, it's actually working extremely well. I only did my 5 wins just so I could get the gold, and then I went back to the ladder, and that's where the real struggle begins.
So before we talk about that ladder, I want to camp out on this brawl and let's talk about some mage shit. Aleksandar, did you do this brawl?
Dude, I have not played the Brawl yet. Should I be playing the Brawl?
Yes. So you just take your freeze mage deck and you're good. So Ethan, here's some things you didn't think about. Think about how good Doomsayer is when you can't hit it.
Oh my god. Okay, I'm playing it right now.
Doomsayer is guaranteed to go off. So there's a mage card, 4 mana, 4/4. Ethan, you might not have this because it's a League of Explorers card. It's animated armor.
Oh, I have that shit too. Oh my god, you can't hit.
Yeah! Okay. So animated armor makes it so that you can't take more than 1 damage at a time. So I could have summoned the Ancient One via that awful Blood of the Ancient One card, swing with my 30/30 and only deal 1 damage. So what this basically means is that when your opponent thinks they're going to pop your ice block, it's at least another turn or 2 before they can. Combined with the fact that they can't stop your Doomsayers no matter what, Freeze Mage is real fucking good. Also, Emperor Thorazan is guaranteed to give you 2 ticks because he's stealth the first turn, then he lives to your next turn, and then he goes off at the end of your next turn, so you get 2 ticks off Thorazan.
Wow, okay. Dude, stop it.
So what I did is I played a Freeze Mage variant with 1 Echo, with 1, because it's also wild, so I played an Echo of Medivh. I made some for this brawl. And, so you could play your Mad Scientist. Well, you don't have them anymore, but you could. But, so what I did was I was able to, because Thorazan gives me 2 ticks, it was very easy to get Antonitis and 4 Sorcerer's Apprentices on the board for infinite damage.
Oh my god. Oh man, wow. I'm gonna just
Like-
try with the one I currently have without the,
Oh yeah, you'll be fine. It might, actually, that might be harder. You need to add in, torches, Forgotten Torches, just because they start with 10 armor, and
Oh, yeah, I
Freeze
got
Mage
those
has
in.
a
So-
limited
so
amount.
I made the change to my mage deck with the torches in it.
Yeah,
So
you
it's
just
like
need
an
to make
Icefire
sure you're.
deck.
Yeah, you gotta make sure you're careful, because that you have a limited amount of damage in that deck, and everyone starts with 40, not 30 health.
Yeah, I mean, I usually, so basically I wait to do damage until I can pop, until I
It should
can
be
get
o-
fireballs.
It should be okay, right? Because like your loot hoarders or whatever are gonna live a turn, so every minion is guaranteed 1 attack. So you should be okay.
Oh, yeah.
But-
yeah.
Now we're done talking about the brawl. Tell me about the ladder, Ethan. What have you been playing? How's it been going?
I mean, I've been playing my Cthulhu mid-range mage, and it's been a struggle.
That deck doesn't cut it anymore, by the way.
It's still working pretty good. I would say that I'm actually pretty favored against Priest and Warrior. I've done really well
You're
against
favored
Priest
against-
and Warrior.
it's because you're a mid-range deck, and mid-range decks are favored against control decks.
Right. And then
In the grand
I
rock
do
paper scissors of
really
Hearthstone.
good against other similar mage decks because of some of the tweaks that we made to my deck.
For a point of reference, the tweaks to those deck is that your deck prefers defensively statted minions. I don't think you have any offensively statted minions except for the Battlecry minion, the 3/2/1. But that way, because everyone else is playing defensively statted minions, except you're playing more of them because you're a mid-range deck and not a combo or a control deck, you can make favorable trades, so your 2/3 cleans up their 2/3 because you're a mage and you have a hero power.
I will say
So-
that I do horrible versus combo rogue with this deck, though.
Oh, you mean Miracle Rogue, the ones with the gadget Zans?
I didn't see a gadget Zan. I think it was supposed to be a N'Zoth rogue, but it was playing a lot of combo cards.
Oh, my baby's flipping out right now because I turned a light on. My baby does not like it when we turn the lights on anymore.
That's funny. Why not?
I don't know. You want to eat? Okay. So anyway, continue.
I thought you were going to say,
N'Zoth
you
Rogue.
want to eat, you best like this light being on right now.
Nah, it's fine.
Yeah.
So, Miracle Rogue, N'Zoth Rogue. Basically, I think you're gonna... Depending on the combo deck, Rogue is probably especially hard for you because their new 1-mana removal Sinister Strike kills basically everything in your deck. And the 2 minions it doesn't kill, the bigger dudes, the 7/6, the 6/7s? Do you have the 7/6s, the Cthulhu big minions? Can you hear me?
Yes.
I was asking you a question.
Oh, sorry.
Somebody's playing Hearthstone right now.
That's fine, whatever.
Oh, he just went offline.
What? Oh. It's because I set my phone down for a second.
Dude, what rank did you hit, Ethan?
I mean, I still have, what? A little over 24 hours for the season.
You're not gonna make Legend, come on.
Oh, I've got 48 hours, at least. And I'm currently at rank 16.
Uh-huh.
Dude, I've been stuck at 19, but I've not played with my mage, which I'm going to start doing.
I am at, like, 6?
Well, I overestimated you. I was going to say, like, you can shut the fuck up about being rank 5.
Pretty close.
Dude, are you playing with what kind of decks are you playing? Are you playing with that new deck you made?
Yes.
Fuck you. Do you
So-
want to tell us about that deck?
Okay. So, I don't know if you've seen it. Have either of you guys seen, like, a Tempo Warrior? They want to, like, turn 1 N'Zoth's First Mate, which is the 1/3 pirate that gives them a 1/3 weapon.
Yep, that's
and
actually... Okay, so it's Tempo Warrior that I beat the shit out of earlier.
Yeah. They got a lot of minions with charge and stuff like that. I started at the beginning of Old Gods with a Dragon Control Warrior deck, which I liked because you would generally get more... It was like a Control Warrior deck with a little less control, but more tempo, and it was good. It was good in, say, a freeze meta, because you had a lot of charge minions and you could continually put on pressure, right? Compared to something like a regular Control Warrior, where you were still favored against freeze, but there are a couple of matchups I can't remember anymore. I think Handlock might have been one where it was more favored than regular Control Warrior, just because you had some proactive minions. But, so I started there, and then Tempo Warrior got really popular, which I haven't played. But I looked at that, and I looked at how it worked, and I thought about a lot of the dragon minions, like Blackwing Corruptor, who's the 5/5/4 Battlecry deal 3, or the 4/3/6 taunt if you're holding a dragon. A lot of those, and the warrior one especially, the warrior's got the best 2-drop in the game if you have a dragon. It is a 2-mana 2/3, who if you have a dragon becomes a 3/3 with charge. And
fuck.
That's
that card often goes 2 or 3 for 1. Because it fucking wrecks aggro shaman, because, hey, you played a tunnel trog, coin this fucker, right? And you coin that bitch out, and you kill his dude, and he plays another dude, and then you just play your Fiery War Act on top of that. So what I did is I took the tempo package, and I mixed it with dragons, and I've been fucking sick nasty wrecking everyone. That deck is like 20-3 right now, in terms of win rate. That is 20 wins and 3 losses. It's really good.
Wow.
I could probably take it to Legend if I wanted to play that many games.
I mean, if it's that good, you probably should at least try.
I already hit Legend once. The only reason I don't use the card back is because it's fucking ugly. Now that once I hit Legend once, I stopped caring about winning a lot, and I cared about winning the way I wanted to, which is why I play ridiculous shit like I was playing that weird Exodia Freeze Mage, which was way worse against aggro than regular Freeze Mage, but had infinite damage, or the Reno Control Dreadsteeds, which I took to like rank 2 the one season. I just stopped playing it because every game takes 20 minutes, so you're never going to rank up very hard unless you play a lot. But I don't like to play weird shit anymore. I want to win, but I have to win on my own terms, and it has to be fancy and interesting. Fun zoo tip for you guys, by the way. I know you're playing zoo. You should put a Crazed Alchemist in your deck,
Why?
because you immediately kill Doomsayers.
Oh yeah.
Really?
Yeah, they're 0/7, so when you switch them, they become 7 zeros and die. It's cost less than a silence, and it's also the problem with the silence is that it's not very good in a mirror match. So in a mirror match, if you play, you can if they drop a councilman, you can Crazed Alchemist a councilman, and that's basically a free kill unless they councilman and Forbidden Ritual in the same turn. So it's good in a zoo mirror match, where an owl wouldn't be, because an owl's a 2/1 and anything they play kills the owl, right?
Right.
And it also costs 1 less. So it helps in the control matchup and is like a surprise sneak attack in the mirror matchup. So I highly recommend fitting a Crazed Alchemist into your zoo decks.
We'll see what we can do.
What's that?
So I'll see what we can do.
I mean, you should put it in, no questions. I mean, it's super good.
Oh man, I'm versus a Murloc Paladin.
So you're playing
right
Hearthstone
now,
right
and I'm
now.
not doing too good.
Dude, I'm playing against this hunter, and I fucked up, right? I fucked up because I have Alex and Thorazan, and I just pulled Anthonitis, and it's turn 3. I didn't even... Goddamn.
So, is that all you have for the ladder? Since we don't want to talk about the games we're playing right now. I'm not actually playing anything right now. I'm making dinner.
Dang.
Oh, dude, nice. What are you making for dinner?
Shh. Yeah, I'm making my baby dinner, so she'll shut up.
Yeah,
Oh.
I got food from the dining facility on the base here, and contrary to popular belief, we do not get steak and lobster.
I mean,
Dude, we know that.
yeah, nobody thinks that. Come on, don't be stupid.
Well, I mean, I'm sure some people do, because they're like, where's my taxpayer
Well, that's why.
dollars going to?
That's why I said don't be stupid. Only stupid people would think that.
No, fair enough.
But speaking of stupid people, Ethan, how's the chemtrails going?
Ha ha ha.
Tell me about your chemtrails, because I know that's your job, chief chemtrail deployer.
Oh, dude,
Well, you know, people haven't
poison,
figured out
poison
the
the
real
populace? Is
secret
that what your
ingredient
job
yet.
is?
But so that's all. Is that all you got for the ladder? You've been playing that mage deck. Fucking I swear to God, I'm trying to make dinner for myself now that my baby has dinner, and I can't turn on a light, and it's getting a little dark because there's no windows in the kitchen.
Dude, you'll make it.
Ugh.
Yep, thinking about to lose this one.
Okay. After your games, no more Hearthstone. I'm not playing a video game. By the way, we should not be playing video games on the podcast because we're not having a good conversation, and this is a terrible podcast as a result.
Dude, this is a wonderful
Wait,
podcast.
As a result, I already thought this was a terrible podcast.
Mm-hmm.
Dude, no, it's not. What are you guys talking about?
Anyway, so is that all we got for the ladder?
That's all we got for the ladder.
Alexander, you've been
Dude, I've
laddering.
been trying, but I've been stuck at freaking at 18 or 19, I haven't played.
You should play the hunter deck instead of the mage deck.
Okay.
Also, you should, because I played that to like rank 13, and then I made up this tempo warrior deck, this dragon tempo warrior deck, and then I've been playing that. The problem you probably were having with that is that it's not a face hunter deck. You actually have to trade a lot. And you gotta be smart
and you
about
gotta
it.
plan when you actually put shit on the board, right? You can't. You
Kind
can't
of.
just randomly.
I mean, you want to play one every. You kind of want to play one every turn, but you want to play a 1, a 2, a 3, and a 4 in that order. You don't want to play a 1 and then skip your 2 and then play a 1 and a 2 on 3. It's a mid-range deck. You want to play on
Okay.
curve.
I think I yeah.
I mean, if you I don't understand how you're stuck at rank 19 with a deck that has 2 Savannah Highmanes and 2 Call of the Wilds.
Well, okay. In fairness, I haven't played since the weekend.
Okay. Yeah, that deck's pretty good. I played that to like 13. There's some problems with it, but all the potential things that could make it better. Tundra Rhinos are really good in it. I might recommend trying that out instead of take away like an Unleash the Hounds or whatever. Tundra Rhino gives all your beasts charge, so you play your Tundra Rhino, and if he sticks, you can play like a Savannah Highmane or an Infested Wolf, trade them. The bodies come out when it dies, and then those are also beasts, so you can make like 3 trades really quick out of your hand that no one sees coming.
Oh, actually, I'm gonna do that because I don't really get that much of a value from Unleash the Hounds.
Unleash the Hounds is terrible, except against Zoo.
Yeah, I mean, so it can make a difference in a clutch. It definitely has. You know, don't get me wrong. I found purpose for it. It's just not consistent in every match, right? So,
Right. It's shit in control.
right, and for laddering, you need consistency, right? It's all about hitting that percentage. What you came up with a
Yeah, I would
percentage
go
at one
down
point,
to.
right?
Yeah, I mean it's win rates is what it's about.
Right.
It's not about how fast your deck is; it's about the win rate.
Right, exactly.
Because the difference between playing Control Hunter and Face Hunter is on average 3 extra minutes per game. But if you're winning 15% more at that Warrior, like the Warrior is the better deck for ranking up in that case.
Yeah, exactly. Right.
So the trick to ladder is to pick a deck, stick with it, get good at it, like know your matchups, what cards you need to look for in your opening hand, how you need to play differently against different decks, get good at recognizing enemy decks and knowing what their game plan is. And then on top of that, you also need to recognize, well, I'm seeing a lot of this deck, so I need to make this change to my deck because, I'm like, say for example, I'm not seeing a lot of Zoo, I'm not seeing any Control Warrior anymore, but I'm seeing a lot of Zoo. So if I'm playing Mage, I want to swap in one of the 3 mana 2/2s that does Arcane Explosion, because that is a really hard counter to Forbidden Ritual.
Yeah, I just
So-
need to get to a level of gameplay where I can recognize these things.
And you do that by playing
Right.
games.
Well, yeah, really.
The other thing you could think about doing is, if you want to get that knowledge without playing a bunch of games and you have some downtime at work, you can go onto like Hearthstone and Google around, search around there, look at all the top decks for each class, like the ones with the most ratings, look at the lists, read the guides, figure out how they play, and then use those as a template for trying to figure out, say, okay, I looked at 3 hunter decks today, this hunter deck is playing these 3 cards, which means it's not this one, it could be this one or this one, and then you just keep an eye and you keep narrowing down the possibilities.
Okay. I mean, that's yeah. I just have to take the time out of my day to be doing that.
Yeah, I mean, dude, you can play Hearthstone however you want, but if you want a ladder, you gotta know your matchups, which means you gotta learn the decks that are
Right. I
popular.
mean, no. That's it. There's nothing behind it. That's exactly. That's all there is to it. Is knowing the matchups.
So, How long are we going right now? It doesn't necessarily matter because a lot of this is garbage that needs to be edited out. This week was exceptionally garbage.
Dude, no.
No, we're at about an hour and a half right now.
Yeah.
Alright, so let's move on to our topic, which is completionism in games.
Yep.
So, this is my topic suggestion. So when I play a game, like my nightmare was Assassin's Creed, right? Because I'm that guy. I gotta collect all the feathers. I gotta collect all the flags. I gotta check out every question mark, right? I gotta do everything.
Dude, I had so much
Or
fun
either-
doing that in Assassin's Creed.
Yeah, Assassin's Creed is probably one of the few games where I get that completionist tendency, where I just want to go everywhere and see everything because they've created a world that actually makes me want to do that.
Let me ask you before we continue, which Assassin's Creed?
Oh,
The one in Italy?
the one that was Assassin's Creed 2, I think, and that one did make me want to do that.
That
a
was
lot.
2, Brotherhood. That was like 3 or 4 Assassin's Creed games that all took place in the same place.
And those were my favorite ones, and I burned so much of my... That's probably why I didn't do so well in college. No? Did I lose you?
Since when?
What?
Which one? Was it the first one? The one in the Middle East?
The Middle East one was fun. I preferred 2 over that.
Yeah, hands down, the second
And-
one is the best one.
I don't know about that. Brotherhood is
Well,
the
that's
best
what
one.
I... Okay, so when I say the second
That's
one,
3.
I mean the Italian series.
The Ezio trilogy.
Yeah, so the Ezio... It's actually 4 of them. I enjoyed the one where he goes to Turkey as well. Constantinople. I think Revelations. Maybe it's called.
So, do you guys have completionist tendencies in general?
No, I wouldn't say that. Like, big open world games make me want to go everywhere and do everything. But, like, if I get on, like, a linear RPG type thing, like, no matter how much I love to play Legend of Dragoon, like, I have no...
That's a shit game with almost no side content.
Well,
There's, like,
even
2
if
extra
there was,
things
I
you could do in that
have no
game.
want to really go on those side quests.
Yeah, I kind of secretly suffer from completionism in games. It's kind of, maybe this is a repeating theme in what I'm talking about, why I carefully have to choose a game, because I get this way. Like, I was big on that in Morrowind. I mean, I played that game until there was nothing else to do. I even collected those little demon statues, the little red ones. So I don't know if you guys have played, or if you're familiar with how you can get yourself a house depending on which political faction you joined, if you've ranked up within
I
them.
mean, all the political factions are the fucking same. That part of that game is terrible.
Well, so the one I picked gave you like a castle-looking house, like the one in Balmoral type. And anyways, I collected enough of the demon statues to have one on the wall around my house. Within every 3 steps, I have one. I don't even know how many. Burnt my life into that.
So, you get it all the time. So Morrowind was a big one. What was another big game you had completionism in?
Assassin's Creed, the second one, the Ezio one. Not with the feathers so much. I actually let a friend of mine do that. But I was big on achievement hunting for that. Because I usually don't really care about achievements, but for this one, like... but it's also fun, right? Stabbing fools in the face.
Yeah.
Like, there's all kinds of achievements on different ways you kill someone.
The worst one in Assassin's Creed 2 was the sand achievement.
What's that one?
Because there's a move where you can throw sand in dudes' faces that they never tell you about.
Oh, yeah, I hated that move, because it's just so much easier to kill someone than, like...
you had to like throw sand in a dude's face and get him while he was blindly swinging to kill another guy like 10 times, and that was the worst.
Yeah, I wasn't really about that, like the sand stuff. I mean, yeah, it sounds kind of fun, I guess, in a way, but
So, I get pretty bad completionism in like every game. That's why it took me like 180 hours to beat The Witcher.
oh my god, 180, dude.
For The Witcher 3, yeah. Also, I'm replaying that game now.
Goodbye. Well, I was gonna say goodbye social life, but you really don't have any.
Nope.
Dude, you're replaying it for what purpose exactly?
Fun. That game's really good.
No, I know it is. But I mean,
I'm playing it on the Witcher 3 specifically. I'm playing it on the max difficulty now. And that combat system is way better than you would think it is based on playing it in normal mode. Problem is that it's got a lot of complexity that it doesn't force you to engage with until you're on the highest difficulty, which forces you to engage.
name one, just for those of us who have not.
So,
suffered the same.
Name one what? Like one of the complexities
Yeah.
of The Witcher?
You know, for those
So,
of us
like,
who
for
have not
example,
been exposed to it.
The Witcher has like a bestiary, but in The Witcher, it tells you what oils, spells, and bombs a given enemy marker. Real quick. Hello.
Do you think you got a job?
We're good. We're both eating.
Oh no, it's the wife.
Anyway, let's continue. But yeah, so every enemy, it's not necessarily like in Final Fantasy where this dude's weak to fire takes 50% more damage from fire, right? In Witcher 3, it's like Noon Wraiths in particular are immaterial most of the time until they want to attack you, unless you use this particular bomb on them, which disables abilities, but makes them ethereal the whole time, but it also disables the rest of your spells within this radius effect. So then there's a lot of, or for example, like there's a kick move you can do where you can like kick dudes, kick them back into like a you throw a bomb that releases a cloud. You kick a dude into it. Then you use your fire spell on it, and it blows up at a huge radius, right? Or there's enemies that blow up on death, but if you're really careful with how you manage your spacing in the encounter, you can get them to chain react, kill the entire crowd after you just damage one. There's a lot of shit like that. It's really good.
Wow, that sounds so. I need to give that game a shot.
It's really good.
Yeah, I don't know why I haven't. Well, I know because I'm actually gonna wait until I get a desktop so that I can play on, a graphically more exciting setting. Because I think that game, like I played the second one on the 360, and it didn't. I was on a shitty TV.
They patched it a while after that dramatically improved the experience on 360.
Yeah, but I've pretty much given up on console life now that I'm in the gaming world. And granted, I'm only on a laptop, and she gets a little
So here's the
hot.
other thing about The Witcher. So it's like open world. There's 3 chunks of open world, so you can think of it like Assassin's Creed 2 in that way, right? But in each of those, there might be like 20 to 60 question marks on the map.
Holy shit.
And there's probably like 30 quests in each one. And then there's the main campaign. And then this game also contains a card game that I probably played at least 20 hours of called Gwent. And I went around and I beat like every NPC in the game at Gwent to collect all of the cards. Oh man, I spent so long on that game.
You embodied the Witcher life. Man.
Dude, I did that game like full time for a month.
Dude, I'm telling you, get a
Month and a
YouTube
half.
channel.
No, I'm not gonna do that.
Dude, you should. You know what you
But-
should do? Is you should record yourself playing and send it to me, and I'll manage you.
That's even more work.
Why?
Because then I gotta upload it.
I mean, you just have to get it to me somehow.
But so for example, when we talked about comfort food gaming, right? Final Fantasy X, I collected. There's a one time period where I was really depressed and laid off, so I had infinite free time. I played Final Fantasy X, and I captured 10 of every monster in the game, beat all the monster arena creations, max stats on everybody. That was like 300 hours. So like, when I fall down the hole, I fall down that hole. So yeah, I have completionist tendencies in like every video game. I think it's something like that that makes me hate something like a GTA. Because completionism in GTA is doing all of these missions, which means realizing that when I'm doing all these missions back to back to back, that the gameplay isn't great. And I'm not engaging in the world. The world is the thing in between this gameplay that I'm not actually enjoying, but I feel compelled to do. And that's why I really generally dislike a GTA game or something like that. I only get really completionist in games where the base game is good.
Yeah.
You know, interestingly enough, I have the most fun in GTA, more specifically GTA 5, with just driving around. Occasionally I'll wreck into stuff, but that game is just, it's actually really fun to just drive cars in that game.
I'm bad at making my own fun.
Yeah, that game requires you to make your own fun. Like, what you mentioned just now, Ethan, one of my friends is in, like, a racing crew, and, you know, he's building, like, tracks around the map, and, like, that's all they're doing. He leveled up, literally, by running, just racing. Just running races.
The only game I think I was able to successfully make my own fun in was Red Faction Guerrilla. And I had to be on easy mode, because it turns out that the way they want you to play that game is hot fucking garbage. But man, did I have a lot of fun setting up the most elaborate kill zones, like by bringing down buildings strategically into each other to like level an entire enemy army. That game's good.
What is it called again?
Red Faction
How old is
Guerrilla.
it?
Pretty old, like 07, 05.
Is that the one before or after Armageddon? I don't remember.
It's the one that's open world on Mars, not the shitty linear one.
Okay.
Armageddon, I think, that's the one where you have the thing that can also rebuild stuff.
Yeah, I think you're right.
That's the one. Guerrilla's the one before. Guerrilla was the 360 PS3 generation that came first. Armageddon was the shitty linear follow-up. It's like, hey, people loved our open world destruction game. What if we made it linear instead?
That just sounds like some hot garbage.
It was hot garbage. If you're gonna make a linear shooter, it's got to be at least as good as Time Splitters 3.
I don't think anyone will ever do that.
Yeah, I know. That's why shooting games are dead to me. Because I played Time Splitters Future Perfect. So, speaking of Time Splitters, it is, for our podcast, it is time to split. So, let's wrap up. Ethan, where can folks find you?
People can find me on YouTube and Twitter.
Are you making
Okay.
fun of me, Ethan?
No. Also, that's not very helpful, because unless they're just going to Google Ethan Downing on YouTube and Twitter, that doesn't help. This is the
No,
part for-
it should be
If-
at SinSpawn. Or, no, not YouTube. Twitch and Twitter.
Uh-huh.
Both will be at SinSpawn. SYNSPAWN.
Aleksandar, you can go last because you'll have like this 8-minute plug segment, so I can walk away while you do it.
Dude, hold on. Let me ask you. You don't even want to talk about Sicario, the movie?
Oh yeah, we can talk about let's. So every week we have a other media segment that we never get around to because we always go really long on some particular game. And this week we went really long because we were playing other games or recording this podcast, and there will be a ban on that in the future.
Sounds good, and please forgive Christopher.
You can't tell me
for,
how to live my life.
Ending the podcast earlier. But yes.
But so yeah, other media stuff. What do we got going on this week, Aleksandar? What did you enjoy?
So I know most people hate talking about comics. Everyone tells me it's a small niche, but there's a few revelations in the comic world pertaining to specifically Captain America, and he's been declared a Hydra double agent. I know Chris doesn't give a fuck. Ethan probably doesn't care either. But
Ethan probably
the
cares more
internet
than I
was
do.
up in a storm over it. The actor that plays Captain America wasn't having it. But I thought that was I don't know. A part of me feels like they're just trying to pull shit out of their ass to keep,
But that's the entire purpose of comic books, is that you have to continually pull shit out of your ass to keep the money machine that's been going for 40 years going. And the good news is that comic book fans have such shitty taste, they will lap up that shit that you pour out of your asshole. It could be diarrhea, just right into a bowl, and they will lick that
fair
up.
enough. But
So, comic books is continually pulling bullshit, and knowing that your fans have so little going on and such a lack of discerning taste that they'll
dude,
eat
but
it
why
up
come
anyway.
up with like the Civil War movie was shit. I mean, okay, I didn't pay for it. I watched it on bootleg. Great. Have my Connect there. Hook me up.
Hold up, I can't hear you over the sound of the police cars coming to get you.
You know, for all the times,
Anyway.
for all the times that cops drive by my house to pick that up on the mic. Anyways, yeah, like there was another one in the DC world, right, with Batman. I hear the cops. There's apparently 3 Jokers, and they've all been active around like the same times. And I'm just thinking, like, what's the point? What do you?
Why do you need 3 of a villain that was a shitty villain to begin
he's one of
with?
the best comic book villains of all time.
Okay, if you say he's one of the best comic book villains, I believe you. But he's a shitty villain.
But, I mean, okay, so people are probably gonna hate me for this, but so is Batman's a shitty superhero. I mean,
That's like, oh no, Batman's fucking the worst. My parents are dead, and
Yeah.
I'm sad.
so instead of cutting myself,
Also-
I'm just gonna.
Also, I can't kill dudes, but the hospitals are overflowing with paraplegics.
Right? Like,
Hey man, they're not dead.
man.
I mean, okay,
They have
I
a
think
rich
it's
life
true
to
that
look
they're not
forward to
dead
as
ever
a
s-
motivational
Yeah.
speaker.
well, ever since Terry Schiavo, I agree that they're not dead anymore. Even if they are on an intubator being kept alive as a vegetable, they're definitely not dead. Terry Schiavo.
Dude,
caused
yeah, no,
that.
Batman doesn't kill. He just prevents you from living the bad guy life.
Like, I want to know what. That's the interesting side of Batman, is what the medical complex and how the world deals with so many cripples.
Well, he runs,
Right?
I mean,
That's the part of. I want to talk about the medical industrial complex in Arkham City. Fuck Batman. That's a dude wearing a cape who's sad that his parents died.
Yeah,
The
basically.
end.
well, dude, no, it's easy, because the Wayne Industries, he owns the town. So he just...
He makes the iron lungs.
Well, here's
But yeah,
here's
okay.
a real quick solution to that, which I'm pretty sure is really close to what they would consider canon. You ever notice that in many comic books, when a henchman fails them, there's usually some fairly dumb speech about, "Oh, you've failed me," blah blah blah, bang, you're dead.
Yeah.
So I have a feeling
mean,
that
I'm
most of those
sorry.
henchmen didn't make it all the way to the hospital.
Well, here's the other thing, right? Like, does Joker provide insurance? Or all those people paying for Cobra? Right? Because if you're on Cobra, I got my back snapped by some asshole in a cape is not covered. Like, think about the poverty,
I know,
the,
and then,
just
I mean,
the insane,
most
crushing
of those
medical
people were
bills,
poor
overwhelming.
and resulted to crime because they
Right.
didn't have money because Wayne Industries failed the city.
You can't even steal a TV off the back of the truck without some dude breaking your
The
spine.
same dude that's running the entire city financially, so you can't get a job, so you have to steal that TV.
Arkham City, yeah! Arkham City is economically built on debt collection in the medical industrial
Wow,
complex.
talk about a revelation in the comic book world.
That's way better than that Captain America shit. Write a comic about that! I want to read it.
Now,
It could just be like a series. It could be like the House of Arkham City, and I would watch that.
Oh man, we could
wait,
pitch
here,
that to.
what
we
if
could pitch
this
that to
war
CV.
of mine wasn't about
CW.
the behind the scenes of a war? It was the real the real Gotham City,
What is it?
and everyone
This
that's
war
going
of
outside,
mine.
they're
It's a
not
game-
fearing
it's
for
a really fucked
getting
up game
attacked.
about
They're
Gotham.
fearing that Batman will come
I
out of the
watched.
shadows and break
I
their
watched
necks.
one dude play it, and he was really just not exciting about it at all. Which, granted, you're just a bunch of civilians trying to survive in wartime. So how exciting can that possibly fucking be? But wait, is it really set in Bosnia?
Yeah, it's about the Bosnian
I
conflict.
mean, that's funny.
So, is there anything else going on with Captain America, or surprise, like Marvel pulled some dumb shit because that's what Marvel does every week?
Marvel pulled some dumb shit, and the only reason that I'm more agitated about it than I would be is because I found out that they pulled it in a currently ongoing series rather than it being, hey, here's a new timeline comic series where
So-
he was Hydra all along.
Why do you think that is? What if we pulled some shit at the very end of a series? Would you be more likely to buy the rest of that series? Or if we do it in the middle of the series, we guarantee that you continue buying it because you hope we pull back on it by the end.
Yeah, no, that's
It's an easy way to guarantee sales for the
Right.
rest of the current run.
But dude, not to mention that
It's
like
it's
there's
possible
been
with
reboots.
the reception that Civil War is supposedly getting. I haven't seen it
Well,
yet,
it's like
so I
the
can't
death of
really make-
Superman. It's like the death of Superman. He dies halfway through that arc, and then spoilers, by the end of the death of Superman, Superman's not fucking dead. Who
Yeah,
would have
dude,
thought?
Superman's not dead, and same with Batman versus Superman. Like he's not dead.
It's like fucking Iron Man. How many times has Iron Man died, and then Thor does some lightning shit to restart him like he's the fucking Energizer
Well, dude, 'cause
Bunny?
He is just a battery
That's
pack, dude.
that's awesome.
That's happened multiple times. But yeah, comics are fucking stupid. Ethan, do you have something less stupid than comic books? Or more stupid?
I guess it could
I'm
probably
only
be more
partially
stupid
riled
considering
up.
It's a movie based off of a video game series turned MMO, Warcraft.
Uh-huh.
And
You better not be talking shit on Warcraft.
And-
Warcraft 2 and Warcraft 3, The Frozen Throne. Oh man, what a good game.
well, yeah, but also, and then comparing that, more of a compare and contrast that with another video game movie that has just recently come out, the Angry Birds movie.
Wait, that's an actual movie that
Okay.
came out.
It's
They
an
actually
actual
came
movie
out
that
with a
came
movie
out
for
last
Angry
week, I
Birds.
think. And
I
so
mean,
far,
why wouldn't you? There's a cartoon. It's based on the cartoon, not the game.
Oh,
Come
I didn't
on.
know there was.
wait,
a
there's an
cartoon.
Angry Birds cartoon?
Yeah. I mean, dude, it's just gonna be like a DreamWorks like CGI Animals with Attitude movie. It's not any different. The only reason they got the Angry Birds name on it is because kids
No,
love
that
Angry
makes
Birds.
absolute sense. I mean, I would do the same thing. I didn't
Yeah.
know that was.
It's like the Ratchet and Clank movie. It's a cute. It's like a
Wait, there's a
There was a
Ratchet
Jack
and
and
Clank
Daxter.
movie?
yeah. There's a Ratchet and Clank movie.
that
that's out.
shit made it to theaters.
It's a CG animal movie.
Oh. Is it?
It's like a cute CG animal
have
movie
you
for,
seen
like,
this?
kids. No. But I guarantee you that's what it is. Why don't you go pay money to see
I'm
it?
not gonna pay. See, that's the thing is, I wouldn't go to theaters and pay money to see it. I'll probably rent it, and if I like it, I might buy it afterwards.
The game is, I heard, is excellent, which is basically it's like a reimagining of the first
What,
game.
the
Really?
No.
Ratchet and Clank?
Yeah, and the game, by the way, the game is basically the movie. Except the movie cuts some shit out of the game that would not make for a good movie.
See, that kind of makes me
So,
want to buy the new Ratchet and Clank game then.
Oh, no, I heard it's great.
No, but
Because the last one I played was Up Your Arsenal, and that was fun and really hilarious, but...
That was the third one, right?
Actually, no,
that was
I take
Tools
that
of
back.
Destruction.
That was not the last one I played. The last one I played was the one that was, like, co-op... One of the first ones that was co-op on the PS3.
All for One.
I think.
I mean, dude, can we talk about Ratchet and Clank names really quick? They're all like some sort of innuendo. I'm just waiting for like Ratchet and Clank dick and butt. Like, they gotta run out eventually.
they'll pull it out their ass like the comic books
Like-
do.
Is there just... Here's what I like to think about with Ratchet and
Tell us,
Clank. Because
Chris,
I'm
what do you like
like...
to think about
It's...
when it comes to Ratchet and Clank?
I like to think that at whoever makes those, is it Naughty Dog? It's not Naughty Dog, it's the other
It
one.
is Insomniac, High Impact,
Insomniac.
and currently Mass Media.
So I like to think that there's this one guy, one executive in Insomniac, who just comes in and says, "What if we called it penis and vagina?" And then everyone says, "No, no," and he says, "I think we should call it," and they're like, "Okay." And he's in charge, and they can't say anything, but that's where all those names come from. There's one executive who's really in love with it that no one can say no to.
And that's Bruce Wayne.
So we got Ratchet and Clank, Going Commando, Up Your Arsenal. Deadlocked, I can't say that one really quite fits in there.
It's deadcocked. It's for the necrophiliacs. Come on, continue.
Say that
Size
again?
matters.
He said it's deadlocked, and I said it's deadcocked for the
they just-
necrophiliac.
yeah, no, that's
Wow.
that fits. That definitely fits.
I mean, Ratchet and Clank, as it had a shrinking audience, had to go for a new target demographic. I mean, that makes sense to
It
me.
makes
Continue.
perfect sense. Dude.
Size matters.
Okay.
See, you thought I was just making that
planned
shit up, you
future
just didn't know.
games. Oh, never mind. Tools of
Yep.
Destruction. Quest for Booty.
Yep.
A Crack in Time. Into the Nexus.
Yeah.
I mean,
Chris, you're right. You're right.
That's what I say. I say, girl, show me that nexus, so the world might be mended.
So then we have spin-offs. We got Secret Agent Clank. All 4-1 with the number 4.
It's a key party. Continue.
Mm-hmm. Full Frontal Assault.
Yep. Natural.
And that is it. Except for the mobile
And
games,
this-
which are going mobile
This
and
has
before
been-
the Nexus.
And this has been our Ethan Reads Wikipedia segment.
Yep.
But yeah, you thought I was making that up. Their names are basically
Wow,
that.
that's really funny. I did not know.
But yeah, so now that we talked about Angry Birds, we're talking about Ratchet and Clank, let's talk about the Warcraft thing, right?
Yeah,
Like,
it's what?
I'm probably
From
gonna see
what
it.
I've seen, I think I might go and see it in theaters.
So I heard it's terrible.
It probably is, but you know what?
I
It's
wanna
going to be a terrible
I'm-
piece of nostalgia for all
yeah,
of us.
I'm gonna see it.
And then it's going to pull in this huge crowd to World of Warcraft.
No, it's not.
You know it is.
Dude,
No.
here's why I'm excited for it. Because the main character on the human side is the main character from the Vikings show on the History Channel, and I think that guy's cool. So
I'm mostly interested just because the dude who directed it, his last movie was Moon, which is this movie about isolation and paranoia and going insane due to loneliness.
I'm gonna have to watch
Interesting.
that.
So
It's
it makes
called
perfect
Moon?
sense that. Oh, it's excellent. It's called Moon. It makes perfect sense.
Yeah,
that
'cause-
he would be the guy you would pick
That's
for
that's
Warcraft,
basically
right? I mean,
the
obviously,
archetypal VoW
the same-
character.
the same movie.
You know, right?
I mean, so first of all, why are people nostalgic about Warcraft? Like, it was a good game, but man, all the story in Warcraft was shitty.
Yeah, I don't know why.
All
people
of it.
are
Well,
nostalgic.
because, like, I know that was one of my first like strategy games. Like I know a lot of people like Command and Conquer, things like that, are their first
Those people
like
are
real strategy
wrong.
game. But for me, it was Warcraft 2.
Yeah, those people who like Command and Conquer, by the
Dude,
way,
I'm
they're
not
wrong.
wrong. I actually never played that game. I wanted to
You're
play
wrong.
it. Never played it.
Is that so?
And the extent of my experience with Command and Conquer is it crashing on my computer a couple of times, then me uninstalling it, and then what little I found out about it from long time ago watching that series Pure Ownage.
Oh, again. That was a time in the internet and our lives that I don't want to talk about.
Let's not talk about it.
Let's just say that FPS Doug is still relevant.
When you're going out for a jog, you gotta get a knife. Everyone runs faster with a knife.
Oh my god.
But yeah,
So-
Warcraft lore is fucking dumb. World of Warcraft is a bad game. I really don't think that the kind of people. So the way they're trying to market World of Warcraft is similar to a way you would make a trailer for Lord of the Rings, and they're going for a very mass market audience, and the majority of that audience is not going to say, "Oh, why don't I check out this game that looks like shit and is 20 years old and cost me $15 a month?" That's the pickup. There will be some pickup, but I don't think it's going to be big.
Yeah, probably not. I mean, dude, that game, what they did for Blizzard and Activision as far as setting records when they did with sales and things like that, you know, just
Also for like ruining MMOs
Yeah,
for
well-
a decade, because everyone had to chase that paper instead of like
right.
making
That's
a
why I
good
kind
game.
of fell off the whole RPG and MMO train, because it's all same with the issue with Diablo. You're just fucking clicking on shit. Except I like Diablo because it wasn't.
Except in World of Warcraft, you pay for it and they make it as inconvenient
Yes.
as possible to click shit.
Yes.
Oh, somebody else already clicked this shit, and now I gotta wait 3 minutes for this stuff to respawn so I can click this shit. And then I can go see Thrall, whose only personal character trait is that he's like an Indian. Noble, but good. That's his character trait. They're savage, but noble.
Wow.
Dude, you put it in such perfect perspectives, Chris. I mean, it's unbelievable.
Well, it's
No, I
fucking
mean, you're right,
stupid!
it is.
It's all
You're just
fucking
so poetic
stupid.
about it.
Like
I
as
enjoy it.
as like a 7-year-old, I thought that was shit fantasy.
I mean, it was. You weren't wrong.
Yeah, no, it was.
But I will say this, it does seem like the movie is trying to follow the storyline starting from the first game.
So basically, okay, so it's just gonna be another franchise they're gonna milk for a 7-parter. Basically, is that what you're telling me? Is that what I just heard?
No, they're not. They're not gonna do that. They've been trying to make this movie for a decade. This movie has cost them so much fucking money already. It's not even funny.
Do you know how much money it costs?
Yeah, depending upon how far they get into the story and if there is not a conclusion to the movie, I would hope that they don't go past 3 movies.
So you know what? You know what could have made World of Warcraft cool? Could have made Warcraft lore cool, is if they did anything with the fact that the Horde are aliens.
That's true.
The Horde
right?
are fucking aliens, and instead they're just like, "Hey, check it out, we're fucking orcs, space marines, am I right?" They're just generic orcs. There could have been much cooler, except instead of having an interesting culture, an interesting story, architecture, all that stuff that makes a culture cool in a video game, they're like, "What if we were Native Americans?" They're Native
they
American
did
mystics
explain
that are
a
also
lot of why they are the way they are.
Yeah, but it was garbage. And the way they are is garbage. That's the problem. I don't care how you explain how you became garbage. The fact that you are garbage is the problem.
I mean, right. If you're garbage,
It's just
it
it's a
doesn't
missed
matter.
opportunity.
If you're
It's
garbage,
huge.
It doesn't matter if you try to add substance to you being garbage. If that made sense, yeah.
Like, you could put a fedora on top of a pile of garbage, and now it's a pile of garbage that has a fedora.
Right.
on it.
What more is there to it?
It's not.
Yeah.
It's not classy.
It's a classy pile of trash.
Also, I revealed a lot about how much I know about being classy because I assumed that fedoras are classy when I know that's not the
Well.
case. Every time I see a fedora, I just want to
You
attack
tried.
that person.
Chris, you tried.
I believe the word I use is fucking fedora lords.
God.
Yep.
Oh my god.
That's I just automatically assume they're a milady who's mad about being friend zoned. If you wear a fedora and listen to the show, just fucking
Yeah.
stop.
Lesson learned.
By the way.
Stop with
Just
the fedoras.
unsubscribe. No, don't stop with the fedora. Wear the fedora if that makes you happy. Because I feel happiness by hating other people. So keep wearing a fedora. Just
All right,
unsubscribe
it's-
from this
you know,
podcast.
That's a fair. That's a fair request to make of someone.
All right,
I'll grant you that.
You know,
Yeah,
you
I
know,
mean,
I'll say that.
put that at the beginning, right here for the beginning of the show. If you wear a fedora, unsubscribe. That goes at the beginning of
Not
every
every, but this one
episode
it will.
of our podcast. It does for every episode from here to the end of
Well,
time.
Maybe.
No fedoras.
I'll see what I can do.
You mean trilbies?
I don't. Doesn't matter.
It does. 'Cause
No,
Indiana
people who
Jones
wear hats
wore
are
a
idiots.
fedora. Little faggot
So what?
wearing
Indiana
trilbies.
Jones is
Dude,
an
he
asshole.
definitely is. That's why.
You know what the difference
Well, I
between
know what you're
Indiana
getting for your
Jones?
birthday.
Do you know what the difference between Indiana Jones and a tomb robber is? A grave pillager is that he has a degree. That's the only difference.
That's true. That's very true. Actually, you put that in a beautiful perspective, Chris.
I mean, you were just a few letters off there from making a terrible comparison and joke about Indiana Jones versus Tomb Raider.
I mean, don't get me wrong. The best part about Tomb Raider was that sick, nasty, like doing the swan dive and had that really gnarly neck crunch sound.
Oof.
Dude, awesome.
So yeah, is that
Well,
all we got?
So on our notes, you have Sicario and Ethan has hardcore history. So I wanted
Let's
to
talk
know
about
what
hardcore history.
Ethan had to say
Yes,
about
let's.
the double H.
Double H. Well, Chris has listened to a hell of a lot more hardcore history than I have.
All
I've
of it.
listened to
All of
the
it.
entire series about World War
Oh,
One.
the blueprint for Armageddon. The best. Oh my god.
And
Alexander, did I get you
already
on that
finished.
already?
That was like the first one. Oh man. Don't even.
No, I did. I've listened to
So-
a couple of the individuals, but now I'm working my
Before
way
we
through
continue,
Kings of Kings.
For the people listening, Alexander, in the show notes, Dan
Oh.
Carlin's hardcore history.
Yes,
Absolutely. I mean,
absolutely.
that's probably the only thing I'm gonna put in
Also-
the show notes because everything else.
Well, you also have to include that video of the chicken
Yes.
gangbang
Oh my
that
god.
you
That's
talked about.
probably gonna
Ugh.
go in the intro video with some like sad violin. music.
But you need to, switch the length.
Ah, I like it.
So that way they go, oh, I want to check out this history podcast.
Oh, man.
Oh, God!
No, it's so horrible
Please
because at
don't.
first
And then
you're
all the-
laughing and then you
and then
realize what goes down.
All this, and then all the sick fuckers who want to see that, they learn something
Yeah.
about the world. Everyone wins. The sensitive Nancy's get to wake up, and the sick fucks get to learn a little bit. Win-win.
Yeah. Oh my god.
So what'd you have to say about this like award-winning podcast that everyone besides you who just recently found out knows is incredible?
Well, obviously, it's incredible. And I have actually learned quite a bit.
Uh-huh.
Learned quite a bit from Kings of Kings. I've only gotten through the first episode of that.
Is that the one that goes over Genghis Khan?
No.
No,
that is
that's,
Wrath of the
Wrath of
Khans,
the
Yeah,
Khans.
that one is its own.
which is beautifully titled.
No, Kings of Kings. Oh, that's the Alexander the Great one.
No,
No.
it is
That's,
Babylon,
Xerxes.
early Mesopotamia, and Persia.
Oh, it's Persia.
It's
Yeah,
Persia.
but he makes references to both Alexander and Genghis Khan and how
Yeah.
the differences
Yes.
of
They're
like,
comparable.
the Romans really enjoyed Aleksandar and like the kind of brutality he brought on, whereas like the Greeks were more soft.
Yeah, it's all of those things come up, and Dan Carlin says it a lot, and it's true because all of those are cultures that create a wasteland through
Right.
like mass murder, and then call
Well,
it
because
peace.
that's all peace is.
Yeah.
Because without the mass murder and da-da-da of your of the opposing idea,
Then you have people walking on the wrong side of the sidewalk, and you just gotta punch them.
dude, yeah, I'm looking at you, UK, driving on the fucking. But yeah, what else? What else do you like about hardcore history?
I think just the biggest thing is how eye-opening it is. Like, I knew that World War I was bad. I used to be a big buff into World War II, so I always thought that World War II was like this sick, nasty slaughter fest where like millions of people died, and that was the worst war because it's, you know, World War II, and after World War I, people thought there's no way something so bad could happen again, and then World War II happened. But then I go and I listen to this, and it's just like 50,000 people die in a day. And then by the end of the
Didn't
week,
even have
it's
helmets.
Like, yeah, and they didn't. I know, that's one thing that blew my mind. I'm sure it blew a lot of
Did
their
you look
minds
up
as
those
well.
pictures? Did you look at those pictures, by the way? Like pictures of the French going into the war, or there's the one picture of the Nazi soldier wearing the gas mask while riding a horse and carrying a lance.
Really?
Are they on the Hardcore History website?
They're not, but you can Google around. Like, if you look at artist impressions of Napoleon's cuirassiers and the way the French rolled into World War I, it's the same thing.
Yeah, he does mention that during the podcast, how in the First World War they were still very much the 1800, the old school style.
Yeah.
They weren't really ready for it.
I think the reason that this is so good is the American education in terms of history is exclusively focused on the founding of America.
Yeah, because otherwise they can keep you stupid.
So,
The less you know, the more they can
Yeah.
tell you what you know.
so you don't
that
realize
is
things
true to
like
an extent.
Germany
it's
had
a
an
little different for me
Yeah.
because I was homeschooled, and so I got to kind of pick what I learned. And so
That's
there
why
was a
you're
lot
weird.
of like, I want to learn about World War II. And I also really liked the Revolutionary War era, but World War II was my shit for the longest time.
So if you like that and you're getting into the history stuff, allow me to make another podcast recommendation, which is I think it's called Mike Duncan's Revolutions. This is a guy who did 200 episodes on the 200 15 to 30 minute episodes from the founding to the end of Rome, and it's incredible. But he's doing a series where it's every week. He picks a revolution, and then he does however many weeks are on that revolution. So he did the Mexican Revolution, the English Revolution. He just finished up like months on the French, which I have not listened to because that was so long it was hard to follow. So I'll binge it, and then he takes like a month off, and then he does a new revolution. I don't think he's done the American one yet, but if you're into that kind of
Dude,
thing,
I'm gonna
it's really
listen
good.
to it. I'm gonna put it in the show notes. Find some links for it. I don't get, like, I listen to all of this at work because I could just plug in and just do whatever. My work has changed slightly, and so I can't do that anymore. But yeah, history is the shit. I mean, it's really important to know.
Well, you're at the gym, brother. Let's do a lot of history podcasts if you want a bunch of history podcasts.
Dude, my biggest problem is time right now.
Do it at the
Dude,
gym,
I
brother.
stopped going to the gym. I don't have time for the gym.
You got like an hour and a 15-minute walk from and
That's
to and
true.
from work.
That's true.
That's like a hardcore history, or like 7 episodes of the
That's
history
like
of Rome a day.
half of a Hardcore History.
Dude,
Well,
spoilers.
it depends. Because they start out like 2 hours, and then by the end, on the last episode, he's always like
Yeah.
fucking 7 hours.
I know, right?
But no, dude, I've started
It's
taking
like the-
that underground fucking train that gets me to and from Capitol Hill in
Uh-huh.
4 minutes. I don't know.
Wow.
I'm getting lazy.
Oh,
Dude,
that
yeah,
opened
it's the
now?
best. You can take it from Capitol Hill to downtown, go to UW.
Yeah, didn't you know that that burrowing machine finally works?
Dude, yeah.
I'm mostly amazed that it's the first time in my life I have ever seen a construction project start, be finished, and be operational in less than like 30 years, and that's because
Oh,
Pennsylvania.
yeah. Well,
That's a good
the
point.
bar is
There's
fucking
there's
low over there.
there's a comic strip. There's a comic strip about Pennsylvania construction work where a driver's coming up to a stop sign being held by a construction worker, and he says, "Why do I have to stop? There's nothing coming." And he says, "Oh no, this isn't for you. This is about the pace of our work." And then lunch break ends, and they flip it around to slow. And that's how construction work in the Keystone State happens, is either not at all or incredibly
Yeah.
slowly.
That's fucking
that is incredibly accurate.
Because you hear the joke about union breaks, but every construction outfit there is unionized, so it takes them forever to get jack shit done, and somehow they're always unprepared for winter, despite the fact that it snows like
Right,
a
you would
motherfucker
think,
every
like,
year.
See, that shit doesn't work in Maine. Like, yeah.
I mean,
Yeah, you're unprepared there, you get fucking, like, kicked
Yeah.
out of office.
Dude, like, 10 feet on the ground, yeah, you're coming into work. I don't think I called in a snow day once.
oh yeah, I remember trudging out in Maine, trudging out to the end of my driveway. You know, little like 6-year-old me, trudging out. Snow is up to my ears. I get to the end of the driveway, bus pulls up, and we go the fuck to
Yeah.
school.
I mean, you might not do shit in school, because, nobody really... I mean, you take a snow day in a way.
Oh no, those were the best days because when we went outside, the snow covered like half of the jungle gym equipment.
Oh my god.
And so we had this tower that we were allowed to go up to the second floor only when we had like a shit ton of snow. And so we'd just go up to the second floor and jump off into the giant
Dude, that
snowbanks.
sounds fucking awesome.
It was.
Wow.
Alright.
Chris.
So,
Sicario.
I'm gonna... Sicario? Sicario, it's a good movie.
I
You should
thought
watch
about
it.
watching
I like it.
It's on HBO, and I got
It's
a
really good.
log on for HBO, so I could watch it.
Uh-huh. I like the way you said I have a log on, not I have HBO
Dude,
Go.
don't worry about my connect.
I'm on to you.
No, that one's legit. Somebody's paying for that subscription every month.
Okay, so my mother, when Game of Thrones started, I had to help her go. There's a subreddit for HBO Go where you pay somebody like $3 a month to use their
What?
login for HBO Go instead of paying the $15.
I mean, I don't.
And there's an entire subreddit dedicated to gray market HBO.
Oh my! Wow.
But yeah, my wife hated it. She hated it a lot, but I really
What'd you
liked
like
it.
about
You ever see No Country
Yeah,
for Old
great
Men?
movie. Oh my
Yep.
God.
It's
Okay.
like that. That's all you gotta know. It's like that, except it's about the war, about not the drug war with a capital T, but the drug war between
Yeah,
cartels.
yeah, yeah. It's the
not-
actual war that
and
goes on.
how America interacts with that. It's really good. I highly recommend it. If you like the No Country for Old Men thing, because a lot of it's super slow burn. It's got the chick. What do I know her name from though? Her name's Emily Blunt. Was she in Edge of Tomorrow?
Maybe.
Edge of Tomorrow?
I know Emily Blunt, but I can't think of from where. Emily Blunt.
I think she was in Edge of Tomorrow. That's a great movie, by the way. Also,
Edge of
if you haven't
Tomorrow.
seen that.
I thought about I thought about
Yeah.
watching that. Dude, see, I'm getting to be the same about my movies as I am about my games, where it's like, do I want to commit to watching this movie? And I think
Sicario, Edge of Tomorrow, and Sicario. I would recommend both of those. I would recommend Sicario a lot more. I think it's really, really good. It's probably my favorite
Edge of
movie
Tomorrow
that
is
I've
on
seen so far
HBO
this
too.
year.
I had the opportunity to watch it from a while ago.
That's fun.
I still have to watch Game of Thrones. I haven't. I'm
I
just
mean,
gonna wait it out.
You can't.
Finish.
Well, we already talked. Didn't we? Yeah, my wife is saying that's true. I don't know. I think I like Sicario more than I like The Revenant. My wife brought up that I saw The Revenant.
Oh, dude, is
this
that
year.
good? Because didn't he? Oh, that's where he won the Oscar. The first time he won an
Dude.
Oscar ever.
That is a great fucking movie.
I'm gonna put that in the notes here, so I remember.
But yeah, movies I recommend that I enjoyed recently. The Revenant, Sicario, and I didn't see it recently, but since it came up, I would recommend it.
Dude, you know what? You know what it is with
Audrey.
movies this year? That The Hateful Eight was so fucking great, and I saw it at the beginning of the year.
Oh, dude. Yeah, The Hateful Eight was excellent too.
I still have
Dude,
to see
you
that.
have to see it.
What's sad is that I saw the parody, The Ridiculous Six, but I haven't seen The Hateful
Oh,
Eight.
kill yourself.
You know what?
More people
you know
have
what?
seen that
If
than have
you
seen The
like
Hateful Eight, by the
I
way.
didn't even know there was a parody.
the stupid
Yeah.
early Adam Sandler movies, then you will like Ridiculous Six.
It's garbage. It is it's like Meet the Spartans level of garbage, or like
No. It is
Scream?
nowhere near that level of garbage.
No,
Meet the Spartans
it's
was
scary.
just-
It's
Dude,
scary
the
movie.
Scary Movie was alright. I mean,
It's scary movie.
like
No,
the
it
first one-
wasn't.
It's
The first
it
one
is.
was
It's much
alright.
closer to a scary movie. Honestly, Meet the Spartans, special level of hell for me. I don't like that movie at all.
Okay, all of those movies are the same. It just comes down to which one is your pet
Like
thing.
National Lampoon, bro.
Oh, I mean, the shitter's clogged.
God.
Shitter's clogged, brother.
That's-
I think about Shitter's Full at least once a week and laugh about it. I will say, I actually think that's a good movie.
Which one?
National Lampoon's
Oh, I
Christmas
didn't watch a
Vacation.
single one of those movies, dude.
Oh man,
They're all
that's
on
actually
HBO, too.
funny.
God damn HBO.
Other media. I can't be bothered to open Crunchyroll and finish Iron-Blooded Orphans, even though I was really enjoying it. I still have not finished that, despite the fact I only have 4 episodes left, because I've been busy playing Free Cell in bed instead.
Dude, so there's
Like
instead of Genki Sushi, there's a new place in the same place called Yozushi, and their sushi's alright, you know, it's conveyor belt, but they're playing soundtracks to all kinds of anime, and sitting there and eating, I was just like, oh man, I know this one, I know that one. I need to start watching.
Iron-Blooded Orphans has awesome music, by the way.
Hmm.
Oh,
very
nice,
Celtic.
dude. Cause I'm so for Warband, I'm having a hard time coming up with
Are you
new
d-
series, so I'm gonna just play more Warband because Warband is epic.
You could just call it the Genocide series, which goes on until you conquer the entire world, or just uninstall the game. Spoilers: you will uninstall the game
Why?
before you finish it.
Will it just get that big?
Well, okay. So think about it like a circle. The inside of the circle represents the number of cities you control. As the circle expands, so does the border.
Right.
So you got more and more places under attack, and then as you get a nation down to 1 city left, every single army and person that they have is in that fortress. And it's like a 1,200 person
that's
siege.
right, that's right. Well, you know, battle size.
And then it'll take, oh god.
No,
maybe.
because then it would take like 6 hours.
Max battle size.
I mean, it'll take like 6 hours anyway.
Yeah, fuck.
Dude, you're never gonna finish that.
That's perfect.
I'll tell you what right now. I got halfway done. I personally exterminated 3 kingdoms, and then I got really bored and I turned on cheats, and then I just started using the cheat where I point my hand at the guy and instantly God ray that unit to death.
Dude, there's one, it's like
I got
Control
really
X
bored.
or whatever that kills everything on screen.
I started doing that at the end too, and you know what? It still took 6
Wow.
hours.
I might just stream one. I'll just have when I get rich and famous near the end of my YouTube career, I'll just do 12-hour stream.
Conquer, pick a nation, conquer that nation, and then consider that the end of the game.
It would be better for you to stop playing that game while you still enjoy it than to have gotten really bored and frustrated.
Yeah,
with it
I
and
might
uninstall
when
it.
the second one comes out, I might play as like a wandering merchant, just for like a difference.
So, by the way, we already wrapped up.
Yeah.
like twice
So
now.
so wrap up plugs. Alex will handle it. Ethan, thank you for coming. Chris, thank you for coming. Wait, or you're the host. Never mind.
Yeah.
But yeah, great podcast though.
As the host, my conclusion, what Aleksandar said, it's been like 2.5 hours. A lot of this was trash, so it'll probably be like 40 minutes when you hear it.
No, dude, it's gonna be like 2 hours. Don't even.
I mean, okay.
Yeah.
So you're just saying
No,
that
alright,
only
you know what?
20%
You know what?
of what we produce is garbage instead of all of it.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have been the White Noise Boys. Now get the fuck out.
We don't owe you shit.
Give us all your money on your way out.
That way we can run it through our Delaware to Cayman Island shell company. Alright, I'm gonna stop recording.
Yeah, same. So Ethan, say something cool before I
Hold
hit
up.
stop. Wait, no, never mind.
Thanks, Grandma.